Hello, hello, hello. We are doing the review of, we've seen the unboxing, we're doing the review of Split Ends Encyclopedia Volumes 1 and 2, including that one. I've listened to this too much. There's been too much Split Ends over the weekend. So yeah, we did the full experience. I even listened to the other tracks that were on streaming that are not on this because they're on the CD edition, but I listened to them as well. So imagine I've listened to all of it. So yeah, Split Ends, a band come out of New Zealand. I came across them many years ago. I'm thinking 94. I got a compilation of theirs from 94. It's on the shelf somewhere. Is it on the shelf? Have I got it? Yeah, the best of Split Ends. It says I should have prepped for this. The thing is my brain doesn't always tell me what I'm doing. This started it all off. And it's around, I say around 94, I think it was. And yeah. And then, because again, I remember there was a box set out in the late 90s that I really wanted, and then when I came to buy it in HMV, it had sold out, and it was really annoying. It annoyed me somewhat. So I didn't actually come across the first two albums. That first period, the Mental Notes / Second Thoughts period, I didn't come to that properly. That's the PROG police coming out to get me. I didn't come across the albums fully until quite a bit later. Because I quite like that early period, but after Dysrhythmia, I kind of lose interest because it goes a bit. It's not weird enough. It's not proggy enough. It's more, more poppy. It's the old I prefer Genesis before Phil Collins thing, but with Split Ends. So that's where I came to them. So they've been in my consciousness for a long time. But like I said, I didn't actually discover the first few albums until, again, the internet and streaming and whatnot. I can't remember exactly when it was because so anyway, when this was announced, I was very excited. I even mentioned it, and it's good to go because again, this early period is a bit disjointed, it's a bit fragmented. They had the album Mental Notes released in Australia, in Australasia, New Zealand, Australia back in 1975. Didn't do anything over here because there's a whole Australian music scene. It's on the other side of the world. It's not now. It's not the internet. It was all the way over there. And then Phil Manzanera comes across them on his travels and brings them to the UK. And they re-record the album and have extra tracks and create Second Thoughts, which is kind of the first album, but isn't. But with some supplementary stuff as well. So that first album exists in a very strange way. That's without all the singles that came out around it. And that box set consolidates that early period quite nicely. If you buy the CD set, there's some extra like demos and mixes that are missing from the vinyl box set, and you also get a few live tracks as well. Very interesting to listen to. But if you want the full kind of album experience, those albums and the beginning of the Ends, which was a compilation which came a bit later in their discography, which has been remixed by Eddie Rayner, it's a nice overview of that period, so I liked it. In terms of the box set itself, from appearance, it's very nice. You look at it, it's very nice. Booklet is okay. I think it could have done with more words. Pictures are nice and big. Plenty of master tape box covers to be viewed. Why is the fascination with master tape boxes? I don't get it. Why do they have to dedicate full page spreads to master tape boxes when you could probably have them arranged in a little mosaic. I don't get it, but I guess, I don't know, the anal retentive out there love that kind of detail. But yeah, I think it would have been nice to have some more words, especially from the members of the band. You know, contemporaneous recollections from band members would have been nice. But you know, that's not going to happen, especially with Phil Judd not kind of being involved in this and his issues. So yeah, it's a shame that it's not, the booklet isn't as definitive as it could be. I think there is a gap there for the definitive history of the band. There was a podcast out a good 15 years ago, 10-15 years ago, about the band and what they did. That's a very good oral history of the band. Go and check it out. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a podcast featuring Spillet Ends. It's probably still out there. Maybe you can listen to that. Getting on to the recordings themselves, the vinyl, lovely, sound great, sound fantastic, really enjoyed them. Eddie Rayner's remixes of Second Thoughts, yeah, it's not too radical. Like he said that the albums were very, very well recorded, and he said he didn't really want to touch them. He's been very light with his remixing, especially with the surround sound side of things. Again, it's transparent. He's just pulled out a few details. It's nothing that you're going to get upset about. The real issue is, you know, the sleeves themselves are a little bit, you know, poor paper stock. You know, could have been a little bit more fancy. Some rough edges in the guillotining of the paper. The fact that none of the vinyls have inner bags and they're just allowed to rattle around like a 12-inch single you've bought from Woolworths on a Saturday with your pocket money. It was okay back then, but now not so good. I'm going to have to source some bags. I've got that problem of sourcing some paper inner bags, and I only want 3, and they'll only sell me like 50 or 25. I don't want 50 or 25. I want 3. So that's a problem, isn't it? And that a problem. What a problem to have in this world. But saying that, I got the set for £40, I think it was, from Amazon when it was first announced. I think that price may have gone up, but I think for 40 quid, that's how much I paid for it, I think it's pretty good value, because look at all the other box sets out there. I mean, crikey, for £40, you're lucky to buy, and you'll get a change of a £5 for most album releases these days, because if you go into HMV, a lot of their albums are like 35 quid. Double albums, you're looking at 50 quid. So I think for 3 LPs and a decent sized booklet for 40 quid is remarkable good value. And if you like this period of band, and I really do enjoy that very first album, I think Mental Notes is, I don't know, it's this whole prog thing happening on the other side of the world, completely separate from what was happening in England, and they were doing their thing. It's very British, even though they're New Zealanders. Very British music, and it's, I don't know, it's just, I find it amazing that could be created over there but still kind of feed in. And if you're a fan of bands like Genesis, you can hear bits of Genesis in that album and in these recordings that end up kind of being used by Genesis later on. It's just weird. They were kind of, you know, like a future echo in some production parts, but I'm waxing lyrical. So yeah, I think that again the CD box set, I think that's the same price. I don't think there's any difference in the price. It represents even more value because you get it's 5 CDs, and so you get 2 extra CDs with, like I say, bonus tracks, bonus live material, bonus demos and mixes. I guess it's the same booklet. I haven't bought it, but I imagine it's the same. I listened to those tracks on streaming on YouTube Music, so I don't feel like I'm left out. You know, so that represents very good value too for a CD box set, 5 CDs and a booklet for 40 quid, because that was what the price was. It may have gone up since then. You know, I'm just talking about when I made my order. I still think that is very good value for money. And then we've got the surround sound edition. Now this was a limited edition thing. You had to kind of pre-order it from Super Deluxe Edition. It's what they do, and there's a tiny little booklet to be looking at. It's not quite the same, obviously it's not quite the same as the booklet that comes with the box set. There are some words and pictures to read, but you know, it's not as impressive as the other one. But yeah, this compiles the 2 albums. Mental Notes, it's the original mix of it, because they haven't got the masters, so it's just in plain old stereo, but it sounds nice and digital. Yeah? And then you've got the Second Thoughts, which has I think there's an Atmos mix, a 5.1 mix, stereo, new stereo. These are all new stereo mixes. So you've got Michael Carpenter doing the Dolby Atmos and 5.1 mix, and Eddie Rayner doing the 2025 stereo mix. But you also get the original stereo mix too of Second Thoughts. So that's fully featured, and then you get the 3 music videos of Sweet Dreams, Lovey Dovey, and Late Last Night. So it's fully featured. Again, they could have put all the tracks from the CD box set on this in stereo. I never understand when you have these kind of sets when they don't just put the whole thing, you know, the whole thing here in stereo. Just put it in stereo, then, you know. But that's, they like us double dipping, I guess. So, you know, if you want surround sound, it's there. The surround sound mix is pleasant enough. The Atmos mix, again, always sounds a little bit weird to me, but I listen to the 5.1 as well. It's all right, but it's very sensitive. There's just, you know, there's just some, you know, atmospheric stuff behind you. There's nothing weird whizzing by. It's just expanded. It's just, there's more space for the music. So very, 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 very pleasant. But yeah, I mean, I've had a thoroughly wonderful time over the weekends, from like Friday to Monday, because my Blu-ray arrived on Monday. Listening to all of this over and over again. I've probably listened to it too much, but yeah, good release, and it does appear that there will be some more of these encyclopedias. So I reckon maybe 6, 7 releases. So I'll probably pick up the Dysrhythmia one, and that'll be it for me, because after that it's a bit poppy, bit too poppy for my liking, and I lose interest. I like it when they're, you know, still weird and wonderful. So yeah, that's the review. I thought it was brilliant. I think for the money, it's good to get good value for money, and it's a great set if you're familiar with the band. So yeah, I've been talking about Split Enz Encyclopedia Volumes 1 and 2. This is the thumbnail, hopefully, and hopefully you've enjoyed the review. Please leave a like and subscribe, you know, and tell your friends. And that's it. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is prog on. Nearly forgot.